This is Immigrants Making an Impact podcast and community. In this community, we believe in the power of storytelling. We believe that our stories are powerful and they are capable of changing the world positively. I would entreat you to subscribe and share this podcast with your loved ones. Thank you for your support all these years. So we're excited to have you on the show, Julia Litvinenko. Julia is a hairstylist and educator. She is on the journey of investigating the beauty industry. Julia, welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me here. I'm very excited.
Great. So tell us about your immigrant story. Where are you living at the moment and where did you migrate from to get to where you are now?
Okay. My immigrant story began almost a year ago when I moved to Canada from Russia. I lived in St. Petersburg, such a beautiful and historic city. I miss this city so much and I highly recommend to visit it, especially in the summer. Back to my story, I worked as a hairdresser, learned English, and thought that it would be great to live somewhere abroad for a while to improve my language skills. Then I got an opportunity to move to Canada for work, and I chose Toronto because it is a big city, and I thought it would be easier to find a good job here, which was true. To be honest, I did it right away, and the second reason I chose this city was a continental climate, which means that it's not as freezing cold as it was in St. Petersburg. And I'm very happy with my choice because compared to northern Russia, the winter here was absolutely amazing.
Great. Thanks for sharing that. So from Russia to Canada. So give me some inside story on how cold it is in Russia. So I have a Russian neighbor. I've heard so many times that people who are born in Russia, they can take so much cold. Is that true?
Yes, because natively I was born in Ukraine, in southern part of Ukraine, and then I moved to St. Petersburg, and I got used to this weather because for the first time it was super cold. I couldn't live there, and then I just got used to it. So yeah, that's true. And now this weather in Toronto is absolutely amazing for me. I'm not afraid of cold because it could be like minus 20, but because of humidity it can feel like minus 30. And the wind there is crazy.
Thanks for sharing that. So nobody gets used to the cold.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So tell us, when you arrived in Canada, it's been a year, so it hasn't been so long. How has it been? Are you meeting your expectations? How hard is it? And tell us about some of the challenges and how you are navigating everything.
Yes, it wasn't easy. I've been here for 11 months, and my main goal was to practice language. Luckily, as a hairdresser, I have to talk a lot, and it's a perfect way to practice my speaking skills. And that's what I love about my job. But it turned out that I didn't have a skill to talk and work at the same time. I was struggling with this. I was afraid to talk to people. I've never thought about it like this. So it took me some time to get used to it and get this skill.
Okay, so how were you able to get used to it? Did you have to practice a lot?
Yes, this comes with the practice because I remember when I started hairdressing for the first time, I was very focused on the result and on the process. I couldn't even speak my language while I'm working. And I've been a hairstylist for 15 years, and now I can be like a radio, I can talk and do like super difficult work at the same time, and I'm okay with that. And I never thought that it's kind of a skill that you have to learn. And now I'm learning how to work and speak English at the same time. And that's challenging, to be honest. It feels like I clicked on the Internet Explorer
Mm-hmm.
It's a browser which is downloading super slowly. So that's how my brain works, you know. So I have to think, and yeah, that's not easy.
Okay, I get it because I am also not a native. So when I came, I had to learn Dutch. So every time people speak to me, I have to translate it in my head before I can speak. So I can perfectly relate. I think that many people learning a new language go through the same process. But just as you said, we just have to keep practicing. That is the only way.
Yes, yes, and you think about the grammar construction and like that's such a good experience. I'm very excited about that. I love it.
Wonderful. Tell us, you are now in Canada, and if there's any immigrant anywhere across the globe and that person is preparing to move to a new country, how should they prepare?
I think that you can be prepared. There is no advice. I don't have advice for it because I was thinking that I would be like super friendly, that my English would be enough. But it turned out that there is a lot of people from all over the world, which is great. And I like to talk to them to learn something about their cultures. But at the same time, it is a different accents. And no one taught me how to understand it. So you have to learn a lot. That's not just about language practice. That's such a interesting soft skill, which is understand the language and etc.
Thanks for sharing that. So let's talk about growth. What choices are you making to pursue growth? Are you going back to school or is it full-time work? What can we learn from you?
I started work. I found a full-time job as a hairstylist, and as I mentioned, that this is such a good practice, and I'm very excited to learn something new from my clients and talk to them. But for the first time, it was very difficult for me, but I got used to it. So this is such a great practice, and I absolutely love it.
Great.
So
So how has the journey been so far? Let's pause and reflect. You haven't been here for so long. It has been 9 months, or you know, you said 11 months.
it was, yes, it was exactly 11 months, and it was difficult, to be honest, but I love it. But it was difficult because I didn't realize that it would be so difficult mentally, because I always thought that I would be like a superhero once I move abroad. I will be talk to everyone, like I'll be super friendly. But I was very confident in my thinking, and in the reality, when I moved here, I was afraid to talk to people and to answer my phone for the first time, especially the thought of answering the phone and speaking in English was a nightmare for me. I was very afraid of it. That's so funny. I felt like in a horror movie. I don't know why. And there was very funny. One time, I had very much. Sorry, I'm nervous. This is my first podcast in English. There was a funny story. I had a problem with my debit card, and I went to the bank and asked them for help. But they gave me the phone number and told me that I had to solve this problem by calling their office. And I was so confused because I was scared to talk by phone. And I was like in this meme, like, no, God, please, no. But then there was no other option. So I called them and figured it out. So that's how it felt. And my first time at work was very stressful because, as I mentioned, I everything was new, and I can say that it is a feeling like when you are an adult person, but you feel yourself like a newborn baby because everything is new for you. It felt like I am a newborn baby who has all the memories from past lives, but you're scared. I haven't realized that it felt like this, because you can only understand it when you're in these shoes, when you're wearing these shoes. There is no way to realize it from your comfort zone. But at the same time, I wasn't confident in my language But I can say that people in Canada are very supportive and they helped me, they cheered me up. And I remember there was the situation, one lady booked an appointment for blow dry and curls, and she was that type of clients who do not trust hairstylists. So she controlled my every move. And when I grabbed the brush and a blow dryer and I started to do these curls, she looked at me and said, I can see that you are a real professional. Keep going. And there was a time when I realized that even though my English is not good, I have a very good practical skills in my professional field. So I'm very confident as a hairstylist, and it helped me a lot. I built a client base already. I've been here only 11 months, and I have a lot of clients, and they appreciate my work, and I'm very happy with this. Because this is my favorite part, to be honest, my favorite part in my work in process is conversations. I like to talk to people. I like to get recommendations from my clients. It can be, I don't know, some places to visit or interesting book to read or movies or something. So this is the most exciting part. And work abroad and meet people from all over the world. This is such a great experience. I'm very grateful for that. That's amazing. I love that.
I love it too. So tell us, when you came, have you been able to make friends? Many people say that the immigrant experience is very lonely. Have you made friends? Have you joined communities, or are you still lonely?
To be honest, I am very introverted person. So I'm kind of a both. I'm very extroverted at my work because I talk to people, I have to make people comfortable. That's my work. One of things that I have to do at my work. But at the same time, I like to be alone. I like to spend time by myself. I'm like a book reader. I like to sit at home, play piano. I bought a piano and I'm learning music theory from the beginning. And I like to read a book. So I can say that I'm okay to be by my own, but at the same time, I met very interesting people in here and I went to the concerts. It mostly connected with the music events. So yeah, it's not easy for me to make friends even in my home country, but here I was able to make some friends and I'm very proud of it.
Okay, so how can an introvert have yellow hair? Because culturally, when people see a person with yellow hair, they see someone who is very bold, well, personally, and who is outgoing, a talkative, with very high spirits. But you are telling me the
Yeah,
opposite. So tell me about that
you
and your
know,
yellow hair.
I'm both, to be honest. Like I'm can be extroverted, but I need some time to recharge. Because, for example, back home, I used to ride a bike by myself, like for long distances, like 100 kilometers a day. That was how I recharged. I went to the forest alone, like I'm I'm that type of person. But at the same time, I like to spend time with people. And my yellow hair I was inspired by this color. And I was thinking, maybe I should dye my hair this color because I never dyed it like in vivid colors. So yeah, I decided. And that's also, I realized that after that, it is a great way to promote myself because it's catchy. When you see someone with this hair, like especially that long, it's very catchy, and a lot of people can easily remember me if they see me once.
And that's a great strategy. And I love the way that you talk about how you love to recharge. And that is,
I spend a lot of energy at my work,
mhm.
like especially when people don't trust you when they come for the first time, and you have to make them comfortable, and that's also like a lot of energy.
Thanks for that clarification. And then you talked about investigating the beauty industry. And you also talked about the sheriff of hair police on your LinkedIn profile. What does that mean?
I decided to call myself the sheriff of the hair police, and I investigated everything which is connected to this professional field. So I call my clients like this is cases and I can solve these cases, but some cases can still remains open. For example, if we do something every month, so yeah. I decided that it would be so cool for me and my client. We came up with this idea while we were shooting the process after, and I love that. That's funny. I made a documentary movie about blonde. I noticed because I noticed that a lot of people was obsessed with bleaching. For example, they saw yellow when the hair was like ashy, and I was like, no, it's not yellow. Yellow is mine. And that's also the reason why I dyed my hair yellow, to tell the people who see yellow on platinum blonde what yellow is. So that's like kind of a joke. Yeah. And I made this documentary movie about blonde addiction, when the people want to make their hair blonde. For example, there was one girl, hair was falling off, and I told her, no, you can't bleach it anymore because you'll be bald. And she told me, I don't care. Can you please bleach my hair? I want to be blonde. And that's when I came up with this idea to create this documentary movie about blonde obsession. So I called it White Powder, Blonde or Addiction. And 5 of my clients, they started in this documentary, and we had a lot of fun. So yeah, they called me the sheriff of the hair police. I absolutely love this nickname.
Good job. So where can we find this documentary to watch?
You can find it on my YouTube channel, and I also was thinking about downloading it on the LinkedIn. But you can find it on the YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel. It's called Hair Police Investigation, like HPI, like FBI, because I'm a hair police officer.
Interesting. I love it.
The most exciting part for me when I talk to people that I'm a sheriff of the hair police with a poker face, and they looking at me at this moment and like they're thinking, am I joking or am I crazy? Like, I love that.
Oh, that's so funny. I love the humor. If there's anybody listening and that person is a professional hairstylist and wants to move to Canada, what should they do?
They should learn professional specific language, because even though my grammar is not good, like I have to improve it, I know it, but my professional English was very good. So that's the first thing that people should do. And the second thing is to create CV and send it in advance. So if you want to move somewhere, it's easy. That's what I did. I just opened Google Maps, and I found the beauty salons in the center of the city. I checked their websites, their prices, like their philosophy, and I sent them emails, and I got some invitations for the interview when I was in Russia. So when I came here, I had like a few interviews. It was such a very interesting experience because I never had interview in English before. Like everything new. As I told you, like a newborn baby. You learn
I get
everything
it.
from the very beginning.
So you learned English back in Russia.
Yeah, I learned it. I had like a private lessons with my teacher. I absolutely love her. She's such a great woman. I'm very happy that I met her. So yeah, I've been learning English for 3 years, but it's not the same. It's not the same when you're learning just like words, grammar, and pronunciation. And as I told you, and it was also British English. It felt like I have to speak to the English queen, like this type of language. But I can understand people from Great Britain very well. I'm not afraid of this accent. I'm okay with this.
Okay, good to know. So tell us about the impact that you are making in your community as a hairstylist. Or even tell us the
Hairstyle.
impact that you are making as an immigrant in general.
I think that immigrants make very big impact because we are very motivated. For example, when you're born in this country, you don't have to do nothing because you already have everything. Not everything, but you're kind of relaxed. But when you move somewhere, you have to learn everything from the very beginning. In this case, you're very motivated because you want to reach something, because you want to, I don't know, improve your English or make your life better or something. So that's why these people are very good workers, motivated workers, and they are very successful. They can be very successful if they make the effort.
So what legacy do you want to leave as an immigrant?
To be honest, I would be happy if I will be able to leave some legacy, and I will try to do it. But if not, I would be happy that I tried.
That's a great answer to my question. I love it. So what advice would you give to immigrants in general?
Can I get an advice from more experienced immigrants instead, please? Because I don't know, I've been here only 11 months and I'm scared. I'm still scared. keep going, keep going, and believe in yourself.
Great.
Because, I really like to read, and I like the quote of the Red Queen from the Lewis Carroll's Through the Looking Glass.
Mm-hmm.
When the queen said to Alice that it takes all the running you can do to keep in the same place. And if you want to get somewhere else, you might run at least twice fast as that. So that's how immigration feels to me. So you have to take all your running.
That is so sweet. So Julia, what is the most important thing you would do today to make tomorrow better?
I'll keep going. Today I'll go and I'm volunteering on the Indigenous Fashion Show. I'm a Redken partner and I will create some hairstyles for the models on this show. So it will definitely make tomorrow better. So I'll do everything for everyone, for all people in the world.
Thank you. That's great. It's time to invite our community to support you. Are there any projects? Is there anything you are doing that you want us to know about?
As I told you, I am the sheriff of the hair police. And if you're interested in my story, in my immigrant story, you can follow me on the Instagram. My Instagram called Hair Police. You can easily find me because I have yellow hair, and you can follow my YouTube channels. I have 2 YouTube channels, one in English, I recently started it, and another one in Russian. They both call Hair Police Investigation, HPI, and there you can see the documentary about blonde. Yeah, and you also can see some videos about my immigration and my working process as the hair police officer.
Amazing. Finally, please complete the sentence for us. Immigrants are
scared babies who remember their past life experience, and they are definitely making a huge impact.
Wow. Please repeat that for me. Immigrants are
scared babies who remember the past life experiences, and they're definitely making a huge impact.
That's mind-blowing.
That's how I feel. Like I was born and I started my new life from the very beginning. And that's such an interesting journey and so exciting.
Great. Thank you so much, Julian, for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being part of the community. I would say you are very bold indeed. So keep going. We are cheering you on. And remember, you are not alone. You have a whole community, Immigrants Making an Impact, and we are supporting you. Let's do this together.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your